How's it going, guys? Welcome back to this plumberparts.co.uk video. We are back in the bathroom. I think this is episode 3. What we're going to do in this episode is we're going to first fix our hot and cold pipes up to where they need to be. We're also going to have a quick chat about planning out where certain bits are going to have to basically be in your bathroom. If you're thinking about doing this, or you're thinking, you know, you're not going to do the plumbing yourself, but you're thinking, I wonder where I should put this bit or that bit. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and it'll also give you a brief sort of overview plan as to what I'm actually going to be doing in this bathroom, where we're going to be finishing off and all that sort of stuff. So let's get on with the video. All the tools that I use in this video you'll find on our Amazon store, apart actually from this little beast, which I'm not sure is on Amazon yet, but I am going to be putting it on there as soon as it's there, because I'll be listening to my podcasts later. I've got Toast of London as well. I'm listening to Toast of London's book, read by Stephen Toast. If I found the audiobook, I'll put it in the audiobooks I listen to in the Amazon store as well. So look, let's get on with the video, guys. Remember to hold tight. Here we go. So look, number one, we're going to have the toilet in this corner here. When it comes to where stuff's going to be, I'm putting the toilet there. The bath's going back where it is. We're going to have some bath taps here. And I've got the bath taps here for you to look at. And what I'm going to do for this as well, because they're concealed bath taps, which are quite difficult to install, I'm going to try and keep them to a completely separate video called something like how to install concealed bath taps, because people might be looking for that and want to know how to do it. And to do it right, it's all about what happens behind the wall. It's not anything in front of it, which is pretty much the same for most recessed wall taps or anything recessed in the wall. All the work happens in the wall itself. What I'm going to do, the basin obviously used to be here. I'm going to be moving that across probably to about here, the centre, and that's going to be a vanity unit down there, okay? And then that's going to free up some space here for like a nice little towel rail. The vanity unit, yeah, I don't know its centres or anything like that. All I know is it's going to be roughly 600 wide, and that there's probably going to be a cavity at the back of it. So what I'm going to do is I'll first fix my pipes up. What I'll then have on them is just some push fit caps. We're not going to put anything else on those, and that'll be that for a while. The bit that is going to be a bit of a pain is this bit here. So we've got the old bath taps just coming up here. There are the two valves that you saw me take off earlier on. So these two pipes here are going to have to stay under the floor. I don't really know why they've done this. So this lot here is going to go under the floor like that. And the two hot and cold feeds for our taps, we're going to stick out of here like so. And you're going to watch me do it all the way. So let's go over very quickly. Why am I putting this there? Or what are the things that are going to restrict you from putting things in certain places? The main restriction is the toilet, because of the fact of the 4-inch. The 4-inch pipe that comes out of the back of the toilet, if you want that to go down into a floor space, you're not going to be able to take joists out. So let's talk about that very quickly. If we look here, we know straight away by looking which way the floorboards run, which way the joists underneath go. The joists have to go like that, okay? So that means, in a good world, I could maybe put the toilet from that corner there to this corner here if I wanted to, if I could get the drop. And the drop we're kind of looking for in this is about a 1 in 40 drop. So if you're going along 40 centimetres, you want a drop of about a centimetre over that 40 centimetres. I'm not going to do that here. I don't really like putting 4-inch pipe in the floor. It's just something that it just feels wrong to me, alright? Feels very wrong. But, I mean, it's not to say that I couldn't maybe put the toilet doesn't have to go like this. It could go like that, couldn't it, if this wasn't here? So I'm just trying to say to you that it's very important that you think about the toilet. Now, if you are desperate to have it in another part of the house or another part of the room, which means you are going to have to do, you know, you're going to have to go through some sort of joist, you're going to have to fit a macerator. The macerator, what that will do is go on the back of the toilet, and that will make the waste pipe effectively from your toilet go from being 4-inch down to either 1 1/4 or even 22mm, which is very, very handy. The drawback of macerators is they're noisy. If they go wrong, they're not very pleasurable to work on, and that is an understatement. And it's an extra cost. So, but it is, okay, it might be an extra cost, but if it gets you to the design and the room layout you want it to be, then perhaps that's a cost worth paying, okay? The other bits that we've got here already, you can see we've got our 1 1/4 pipe. That's our 1 1/4. It's going to go under the floor and stick up just here. And then we've got the 1 1/2 that used to just come up here and go across like that. In a few videos time, it might be the next video, I'll show you the first fixing of the waste pipes. Today we are just going to be doing the hot and cold, okay, up to each one. Funny enough, actually, someone commented, a young lad commented saying, I'm just starting out as a plumber in the next few months, and during this time, mate, well done for sticking to it and getting there. And he asked me, have I got any tips? and this really was a bit of a joke, but actually you probably could learn a bit from this. I said lie under a bed on your back and get someone to slowly trickle water into your face. That will be a good starting point for what it's like to be a plumber. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's get the water off, get everything drained out, and just start getting everything cut back. You can tell how many times I've done that, can't you? The old Christmas tree I made, do you remember that? Copper pipe. I mean, the pressure on this, if I come up here in the middle of the night, is insane, but we're still, yeah, quite a hefty pressure there, and that's there. The good thing about having that valve here is it means I don't have to dissipate the pressure in this whole vessel here. Yeah, but then you're like, I should be able to go downstairs, just run the taps until they sort of stop, innit? First thing I usually do is flush the toilets. I go into the love chamber. Does smell a bit of poo in here. Done a poo just now. Last night's chicken, prawn and chorizo jambalaya coming out for all to see. Absolutely beautiful. Don't hear that filling up, so it was a good thing. The one thing is, oh yeah, well let's just open. I tend to open up every outlet, and that includes upstairs and downstairs, so let's just open this beast. Both sides, it's a mixer tap, so we're going to have both sides doing that there. Now a lot of tanks, especially if you've got something like a mega flow, or you know anything that's unvented, which is what we're working on today, it's going to take quite a long time to drain off, because sometimes they'll have an expansion vessel or an area of expansion within the tank that needs to drain out and be sort of dissipated before the water will stop. So this is just patience. Turn that on. There we go. Flush the downstairs loo. Actually, I'll leave the downstairs loo because you never know. Emily might do a big old poo in that. Maybe her jambalaya will come out. But we will. So we've got this side here is off the mains. This is where a lot of people get confused by this tap. I get loads of comments about it saying you've got the hot and the cold the wrong way around. It's like, no. This is the filter tap. The hot is here, as you can see, and the cold is here. Now only the hot on this is going to be the one that's draining off, so we're just going to do that, okay? And hope that Emily doesn't half open up the mixer tap while I'm up there. You're not going to open the mixer tap, are you, Em? Yeah. You are? Well, that's not very nice. She hates me. Oh yeah, one other thing you need to consider. I forgot to show you then, because I didn't do it, because I forgot, to turn off the feed supply to my secondary return hot water pump. That's really important. We don't want that pump to run dry and damage it or anything like that. So it's important we get that done as well. So if you've got one, turn it off. If you haven't got one, now might be the time of thinking about maybe watching the video of how to improve hot water delivery to taps that are far away from the tank. Okay, that's what secondary return does. And I've done a video on that in the past, of course I have. I might even leave a link to it below if I remember. So it's been a few minutes. Let's open up a couple of these and see what we get. Let's just whip this off. Move the old head out of the way. Hopefully we're just going to feel suck. Sometimes I just put my thumb over it and you actually feel your thumb just suck a little bit, and that will sort of say, well, nothing. I didn't even get a suck, but nothing there. Okay, nothing there from that. Because these two are lower, let's just make sure everything's out of that. Obviously, get this moved out of the way very quickly. Don't want any water nearby. So that's the hot. We're all good. And we're all good there. Brilliant. So now that I've done those lower ones, I know that I can cut this down to at least here without any water coming out. And we know the same with the cold water now. If you want, it's a good idea just to mark on the wall, hot and cold, whichever way round, you know, just to make sure you don't forget that later. And also that'll help you trace back pipe work. I'm not losing my pipe slice today. That is one thing I'm damn well not doing. Keep them hung on the side of the beast. I'm not going to lose my pipe slice. I'm not going to lose that either. We're not going to be looking for that standing knife for 20 minutes. We've now got to a stage where we know what we're doing here, but we need to sort of find out what's going on with the floorboards. And for the purposes of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take up this section here, and we're just going to skill saw along here and get the floorboards up in this particular section. and then bring them up to where we need them in a sec. So the old ox hammer's out, and this is perfect for this sort of stuff. I don't know if you saw the tool review video that I put out on Wednesday, but this is what it's perfect for. And I will say another thing, I should definitely be wearing knee pads, but I don't know where they are. I will put them on. Knee pads, for me, you do not want to have a knackered set of knees when you're older, believe me. And kneeling down, kids, I mean, I'm 38. Am I 38? Emily, how old am I? I'm 37. Get in. Honestly, at 37, having been a plumber since I was 16, my knees are feeling the strain, alright? So don't just ignore it. The one thing I'd say as well is these tacks. If you kneel on one of these tacks, you will, it's like pain you've never felt in your life, alright? Now, I know we're going to have a 600 wide vanity unit, but I'm also pretty sure we're going to leave roughly 200mm here for like a little bin or something like that. So usually what I do is just put that up to there, the big arrow, like that, vanity. I'll shove there and then a line. And you know what, I'll make it even more. So there's our vanity line. Pull over 600 just to here. It's not going to be too wide. Thing is, if I had it any bigger, it'd just start getting in the way and we wouldn't have like the room that we want. Also, I am going to get Emily up here in a sec to have a look at. You want to come up and have a quick gander at this, my girl, just to make sure you're happy with this size. So 200mm there. The thing is, this doesn't have to be bang on, all right? This, I mean, my pipes could come up here and still be right because it's going to be hidden, isn't it? We're having a to the floor vanity, aren't we? Please have it, and we've got to, because otherwise I've got to dig the bloody wall out to get my hot and cold up there.
Well, we just don't have a vanity unit.
You've got to have a vanity unit, otherwise where are you going to put all your smellies and your bits and bobs? That's the thing. And also, you've got a nice little cavity for my pipes.
That gap needs to be...
Right. After all of that, it's still going to be the same size. Now, there's a little complication that I know we're going to come up against with this job, and it's actually to do with where our floor joist is. So we've got a joist running across here. We've got another joist running through here. So I know that when they built this, whoever was here before built this partition wall, the next joist is going to be under that wall somewhere. So what I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to cut along here. I'll have to use my multi-tool, my Bosch multi-tool, just to go along here. And when you do this sort of work, you've got to do it nice and carefully. I'll have to do it all the way back. I'll probably just take this section out here. Then we're going to have to build out some sort of load bearing that was going to take the new floor that comes up to here. Now the new floor I'm going to be putting down is 22mm chipboard, specially designed for doing floors. It doesn't flex at all, but we do have to find a way of getting that supported. So that's going to be a bit of a complicating factor. So what we'd be doing, like there's a few bits down here, the usual sort of thing. It's the dustbin of the world, this area. I am actually going to insulate this once it's once we've got the floor up, and that'll be a really enjoyable job. I cannot wait to do it. So I've got my 600 width here. I've marked my centre because I know that's going to be that. Now, usually how I'll mark a centre is I'll put the line up. I'm probably going to have to bring up one more floorboard for today. I know I'm going to be bringing up more when I actually do the whole floorboard changeover. But at the moment, I don't want to be bringing up all the floorboards purely because I need somewhere to work. I need to stand and sit on something. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to run this over to where we need them and bring them up in the right place. We're going to put a couple of clips. Let's have a quick look at the schematic drawing. So we've got the drawings here. Now, what I want to do, I know that if we drew this out just on here, we'd know, if you look at the other side, it's hard for you to see, but we've got a cabinet, a basin that sits on top of this cabinet, which means we're going to want our pipes to kind of terminate in this top piece here. So we've got 317 plus 80, so that's 397 to the bottom. Oh, where's me? I've done it, I've actually done it. Oh no, I haven't, here it is. 397 to the lowest point that I want to be coming out, 397. You might find it hard to see, but I've put two widths here, like so, either side. So what we're going to have here, this middle one will be the waste centre line. This is the hot, and this is the cold. And then we've got a nice little centre line there, just so we know. Probably won't even need hammer for this. don't be worried if you get water like that amount coming out. Little tip if you want to get these drained out quick, get a screwdriver and just press on there a little bit and do the same on the other one. And then get something, usually I'll get 2 of my little screwdrivers, something like that. If you just rest that screwdriver on there, that will start to actually help water come out. If you've got any water that wants to come out of here, that'll aid it in coming out. Usually if you don't have that there, the water will just stay in the pipe. The other way, obviously, get a wet vac and just stuff it on there and just hoover out the water. This is my soldering flannel. I've had this for ages. Emily's just donated me a new soldering flannel. Check this out. Let's start using it in this video and we'll see how it ends up. I always have my soldering flannel always just hangs there like that. So then when I'm not using it, it's got a chance to sort of dry out. Even though I kind of want to leave it as wet as possible most of the time. So then we're into the pipework section, which if you watched in real time, this would probably take us about 20 minutes, something like that. I don't want to bore you all to death, and also I don't want to run out your internet. But there's quite a lot of things to think about here, and I sort of was going to do one thing and then went and did another. So you're kind of seeing that now. But at the moment, I'm just getting these pipes in, so they're well below the floor level, but also thinking about the fact that I'm going to have to be getting my waste pipe in sooner or later as well, which is why I'm dropping that cold down. So yeah, this is all the fun work, getting the new bits and bobs in, the bit I really enjoy the most. Dad, I'm halfway through soldering a load of pipe up. Hold on, just sit in your car for 5 minutes, hold on. I've just got to do this, Dad. You know what it's like, I'm halfway through.
Don't worry, I'm outside.
Alright, I'll be out in a sec, hold on. Right then guys, so what we've done here, you can see this little cold pipe that's dropped down quite a long way. That's because what I plan to do is the waste pipe that we've got here, that is actually going to run pretty much in line with this floorboard here, straight through along here and then off to our stack back in that corner there later on. That's why I'm doing that. So this bit here is just going to come out. We don't need to do all these little bits and pieces here to make that work. So that's why I've left that there, so we've got room for that 1.25 inches to come up and elbow up on our centre line and stick out here ready for our first fix for the waste. These are what I call phantom clips. So they're just there, doing nothing. But they might come in handy for this next bit. Let's not throw these away, because we might use these to clip these pipes under the floor in a few minutes time once we've rerouted them underneath. I've already made the marks for my hot and cold down this end, but let's make them up this end as well. The thing is, right, you can also trace it out by knowing that the cold pipe goes to feed this toilet here currently. You make sure these get a lovely clean. That's why we kind of got to pull the pipes out a bit, just so we can get around these. It's very important these pipes are clean here, so our welds, solders and everything work perfectly. Now if you want, it's a good idea sometimes just to pop a bit of flux on, like that. Using your brand new white cloth, just flash the flux off a little bit, just like so. Aim it away. Let's see that, how that's cleaning that off nicely there. Doesn't have to be too hot. Get a really good wash down. A double flux in. So now's the time. I'm kind of going to do a little bit of planning about how we're going to end up with this. Now, I want to kind of do two things. I want to be able to first fix my pipes up so it's easier for me to lay the floor, but also put them in a position which means that they're easy to get at, that doesn't impinge on our side panel, but also doesn't get in the way of our waste pipe trap as well. So, I know that my waste pipe trap starts at about the 30 mark, so around here, and it's about 35 off the wall as well. I could just pop that there and be like, right, that's sort of in my mind's eye now. So 750, sorry. So that's going to be about roughly here, really. So we want to stay away from that area. Yeah, so it's going to be roughly about there. And our trap is going to run this way, and it's going to 45 down. Something I like to do is try and keep my elbows on basin and trap waste to a minimum, really. I like to use 45s more. You get a better flow. It's much less likely they're going to block up. If I was going to lay out this piece here measure it out that far. That is the edge of the bath there. I want to keep it a minimum of probably, if we kept it a minimum of that far inside the line, so that's 650 inside the line there. Just mark this piece here. And what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 T's that just come up like this. We're going to stagger our T's as well. That's really like nice little thing to remember, is if you stagger the T's now, the pipes will come out like that, and you'll have enough room for you to put 2 nice little lever valves just in here, so you can turn it off, or you know, those sorts of things if you have any problems. Now, so yeah, let's get these bits piped up now. Let's get our bits piped up, so they're there. Then we're going to just pop a couple of holes through here. We're going to run these 2 pipes under the floor and pop them under there like that. And then I think we're almost done when it comes to the first fix for this video. Yeah, I'm guessing it's pretty much about now, this far through the edit of this video, I've realised that I've chosen the most annoying music to listen to ever. I'm not going to change it though, because it takes quite a while to find it. And this was actually selected by the AL Army on a live stream on Thursday nights. If you want to join the AL Army, click the join button. Or I've left a link to that as well. Anyway, you might notice that I'm using capillary fittings here for no other reason that they've been in my box and I just want to get rid of them. And they're going under the floor and I think they look shite, so I always put them there. And you're also going to watch me heat them up, and guess what? I'm also going to run a little bit of solder in there as well. They're going under the floor. I don't want them to leak. And, you know, I know capillary fittings already have the solder there, and someone's going to hit the dislike button. I'm sorry. Just get on with your life. Anyway, there we go. Look at it. All nicely soldered up. Beautiful. Right, the creme de menthe until we come back here. Just put these on. Right, now we should be ready to turn the water back on again. The thing you need to think about when you turn the water back on is, number one, to not upset your old git of a tabby cat. Hello mate, you want some belly scrubs? Oh yes, oh meow. Especially when he's only got a little stubby tail that you shut in the door all those years ago. Sorry George. Just go around, make sure that all the taps you've opened are still open, yeah? Make sure no one's gone around and shut them or anything like that, because what you want is when you turn the water back on, you want control over the situation. Now, control will generally be, if you're up in the loft and the water's on, you haven't got control. If instantly pressurise the system and you might have a leak. So your best thing to do, I'm going to go up in the loft with all the taps and all the toilets filling up and everything, they're all open. I'll turn the water back on. Then I'm going to go back downstairs and I'll shut all the ground floor outlets first. And the last outlet I'll shut will be that outlet there, because that's right next to where everything's going to be, and then we'll be building pressure up. We won't build any pressure up until that outlet there is shut. So let's pop up here now, get the water back on, brew. So the water is now, boom, on. Let's a quick walk back downstairs straight away. Now the first thing I'm going to do before I start shutting anything off is just having a look in here. The one I'm worried about is this one. Right, everything seems pretty good at the moment. Sorry guys, this is what it's like. So that tap there is open, and that is our pressure regulator. See it as that. Right, it's just open. Right, so we know now we're getting somewhere near getting pressurised. There's only one I was a bit worried about, is where they put the sticker on the copper. That's really annoying when they do that. Just going to pop back in here and have another look. Good signs, just rub your hands. No water there. You might have some residue of flux, especially, I mean, I've cleaned all my pipes off as much as I can. It's very important you clean the flux off. So look, now we're up in this room, and look, so look, I can now pressurise it just like this. Boom, that's now pressurising, and I'm here already. Wicked. So guys, it might look like we've gone backwards, but believe me, we haven't. We've now got to a stage where the next part of this build up is going to be, the next bit of the video you're going to see is getting our waste pipes up in the right place for the bath and for the basin. And once we've done that, we can lay the floor down. So the next video in here will be getting the waste pipes in and getting that floor down. And it's going to be a real shock for you how clean everything's going to suddenly look, because doing things like getting floor down is it's a big old slab of wood, isn't it? And it makes a big difference. It's a bit like putting up one of these sheets up on here. That's going to make a big difference to the whole job. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's going now. We're going to be left just down there, rather than all this gunk here, we're just going to have 2 pipes and the waste pipe coming out of there, nice and neat. All this is going to be down and done nicely. Oh, it's going to look really good. I'm looking forward as well to showing you how I will clip the 1.5 inch and the waste pipe as well, because it's very important they get clipped well under the floor. Not because they're going to get moved a lot, but you need to think sometimes someone in the future, I might not be living here, might put down a unblocker solution, and that tends to get quite hot in the pipe. So it's very important you clip the pipe properly under the floor, so if that ever does happen, you don't get sagging. It's really like bad. So underneath there, you're going to look to probably try and put a clip every foot to 1.5 foot, 2 feet at maximum. Okay, just make sure you don't leave it hanging in mid-air. That's one thing I'd say. But I've got a big old clear up to do in here before we move on to the next video, the next stage. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. All the tools I used, as I said, are in the Amazon store, so please go over there and check that out. There's a lovely song just whispering in now that's been selected by the AL Army Massive. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday night's tool video, and remember, there's one thing you've got to do, that's hold tight. See you soon.
You wanna put your parts down into the floor. You wanna make sure they don't get in the way of the bath. In the next video, we'll do the waste pipes for sure. Yeah, and then we'll put it all together in a massive video for your delectation. I hope you enjoyed watching today's Plumber Parts video, guys. I know it was a bit of the older shoulder video, but I hope you learned a little bit about plumbing. Please hit the subscribe button. Please check out my blog, Time to James, and also join the AL Army Massive for live streams on Thursday evenings. Hold tight.